So in today's video, we're doing a one product wash and go using the IMBUE Cream Gel. Upon first inspection, they look completely different. This is the large size, which was sent to me. They're all gifted. And this is a travel size. So essentially, they're supposed to be the same thing, but they look so different. This one is a lot more of a smoother texture, and this one is very thick, almost like a cottage cheese type texture, which is really, really weird. After seeing that, literally just before I sat down to film this video, I shook them because it did look like there was a bit of separation going on. So I shook them both, thinking maybe I can combine them and then this one will end up looking like this. That didn't happen. This one changed into a super smooth consistency to a point where I don't even know if it's going to be a strong enough hold for my hair. And I'm not sure anyway. But this one, it did get smoother, but it still was giving cottage cheese. So we're going to get started. I'm going to do half my hair. I did a poll on Instagram. The people have voted. This side, I'm going to do this one, which is the smooth one, the travel size one, and then this one I'm going to do on this side, which is the cottage cheese one. So I'm going to head to the shower now and go and wash my hair using the IMBUE shampoo and conditioner, just for the sake of continuity. And then I'll come back and start the application process. So I'm going to start on this side with the creamier textured version. I am just going to be applying one product, so I'm going to make sure each section is very wet. So first impressions, after I shook it the second time, as I said, it went a lot more creamy. I'm going to apply it anyway. I'm not going to go in too heavy-handed because I'm quite scared that it's going to flake, since that was the feedback that I got from quite a lot of people. On application, so far it is clumping my curls. I'm pretty impressed, I can't lie. I am very concerned that I'm not going to have enough product to do one side of my hair. In terms of application, I'm basically doing a mixture of the raking method and praying hands method, where you just like smooth the product in. So nothing too special. If I felt like it wasn't really giving me definition, I'd probably go in and finger coil, which is when you take smaller sections and then like swirl them around, which helps to just combine the curls a little bit, but I don't actually feel like I need to do that. So far, so good. First impressions, it feels quite moisturised. I like it. I like it a lot. It's definitely not the most defined curls I've had when I've applied a product, but at the same time, it's super quick because I'm not having to apply a cream first and then a gel, or a leave-in first and a gel, or whatever. It literally is one product. It's so quick. I'd probably, so far, I'd opt to do this and use this over doing another product, potentially, depending on how much definition I want. So I've just finished this side and I think she is very cute, I can't lie. The definition I am happy with so far. I'm sure it's going to frizz up more as it dries. But the back section, which I've done earlier and it's dried a little bit, is still quite defined. There is a little bit of like product residue in certain areas while it's still wet, so I'm just worried that when it dries it will flake. I might have been a little bit too heavy-handed in some areas, so I'm hoping not. Fingers crossed it kind of just all, you know, evaporate. But my hair feels really soft, it feels really nice. Like the product on my fingers as well feels quite moisturising. Honestly, so far I'm pretty impressed. Also, my hair does look quite shiny. It is still wet. I'm sure it will dull down as it dries, but honestly, so far, big thumbs up. Because it is quite smooth and creamy, it does apply really nice and like silky. I'm gonna now go and apply the more crumbly texture, Mr. Cottage Cheese over here, on this side and do a comparison. I don't feel like it's going to apply as smoothly as the other side, and I feel like it's going to be a case of me having to smooth the clumps through a little bit. So if this side does, if they do flake, I definitely feel like this side might flake a little bit more, just on the fact that there'll be bigger clumps of product on it. But after I add water, it might kind of just melt into the hair, so we'll see. So after I mixed the two products, or like shook them, should I say, the cottage cheese one is a lot smoother, and I feel like as it's sat as well, it's become even more smooth. So it's more of a similar texture to the other one, but I would just say it still seems a little bit thicker in consistency, but it's applying pretty much the same. I do feel like, as I said, it just feels maybe a little bit thicker, like I can add a little bit more water when I'm applying this one. I'm just worried about applying too much since it is thicker. Just repeating these same steps that I did on the other side, on this side. I'll come back when it's wet and then show you what the both sides are looking like. They're probably going to look the same. And then after that, I'll air dry a little bit, finish it off with a blow dryer, stretch it as I usually would, and then tell you my final thoughts on the product. Okay, so this is what my hair's looking like on both sides. This is the one that was a bit clumpy. This is the one that was like creamy. I do feel like there's a difference. I feel like this side is slightly more frizzy, or maybe like more voluminous than this side. This side seems a little bit flatter. I'm not sure. Could be overthinking that, but this side does seem like it's got a tiny bit more definition. But overall, they're pretty similar. It could just be the way I applied it. It could be how much product I applied, to be honest. When I'm using creams and gels, I generally go in quite heavy-handed, but this kind of a little lasted, like went a long way, essentially, because the small tub, I still could maybe do like half my head with this, and I've used this on my niece's whole head and then this side, and I feel like I can still do a whole half a head with this. The same with the large gel. I've almost feel like I barely used it. I could definitely get a fair few uses out of this. I am going to go over it on the top layer and just put a little bit more products. I feel like with this one, because I was scared of it clumping, I did apply a lot more water, which might have meant applying less products. So I am going to go over a little bit. But yeah, when I first was sent this, I thought it wasn't going to last very much. Like, I remember seeing the tiny jar thinking this is so small. But honestly, I've barely used it. So yeah, I'll be back to show you what it looks like dried and stretched. So this is the final look and I am obsessed. I feel like it's super cute. Guys, what? It's super fluffy. While it was drying, it didn't have any gel cast, which I'm not a fan of. I do like a gel cast because I know it's going to hold. So I don't feel like it's a wash and go that's going to last the longest. But because it was so quick to do, I can see why someone with maybe my hair texture or looser would opt for this type of product over like a really strong hold gel, because you wouldn't mind doing it more often because the process is so quick anyway. Like, you don't have to go with 2 products, just one, done. Especially if you're someone that does your hair in the shower. Again, it is quite fluffy. I have stretched it, so it does cause a little bit of frizz when I stretch and blow dry. But personally, I don't mind a little bit of frizz. I feel like the volume is really nice. It's bouncy, it's fluffy, there is no flaking whatsoever, which is one thing that everyone was telling me, it flakes a lot. I'm a fan of this product. This is the type of product that I would take with me when I'm traveling. So if I know like I'm gonna have to keep redoing my hair, for example on holiday, or maybe in between a shoot day, a little kind of goes a long way, and all you need to pair it with is a spray bottle. This is like a quick go-to. So this product, out of 10, I would rate it maybe a 6.5. But I'm quite picky, first of all, and second of all, why it's not getting any higher than that is it is a nice product, but it isn't anything that I would say, oh my gosh, you need this product. Quickly going into the different sides, there is no difference between the sides, to be honest, that I can see. As I was blow drying, both dried the same, they looked the same, they felt the same, so I don't feel like there was a difference in terms of the way the products acted, even though the consistencies were different. As I said, by the time I'd mixed them or shook them, they started to resemble each other a little bit more. Really happy with the results. I'm glad it didn't flake, because that was the worst thing. That is the one thing I'm really glad that I didn't experience, because I am heading out now. This is a clip of the back of my hair. It looks quite nice, it's fluffy. As you can see, there's a lot of movement. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful. If you do try, tag me in your results.